Think back to your first exposure to YouTube fitness on this lovely, wonderful platform. What was it? Were you a part of the science-based crowd? Did you get shown a Sam Select short? Perhaps you were a part of the fucking Ziz aesthetic people? Well, for me, I know. This was one of the first videos that I was ever recommended, and that I discovered the gym through. And it haunts me to this day because of the fucking horseshit advice that it gives. Now, fortunately, as as I was thinking of how to make this video to like confront my fears, explain why it's dog shit, I found that there was a new and updated video made by the same person that looks to be about the same thing. I have not seen this. Today I will see this, and we will review it together. I'm not gonna do the old one because that would be very uncharitable. But from what I remember, it starts off with some like Greek allegory, to sound very cool, and then it goes on to detail the worst fucking push-pull legs routine with no sets, no reps, nothing. So if this one is anything like the old one, I will tell you why it's dog shit, and then maybe at the end take like 2 minutes of my time to like construct an infinitely better program just on like a empty Google sheet. It won't look as pretty, it won't have as much editing, but it'll actually get you the results. Let's go.
In ancient Greek times,
Oh yeehaw. Well, I think I know how this is gonna start off.
there was an Olympic wrestler named Milo of Croton. He was one of the best in all of the land, and legend has it, every single day he would carry a calf on his shoulders. And as the calf grew, so did Milo. Little did he know what he was practicing was the fundamental pillar of bodybuilding called progressive overload.
Very nice. Okay, so I do remember in the original video, he starts it off like this, and then never fucking tells you how to progressively overload. He doesn't tell you like any progression methods, any like fucking dynamic double, any like building volume, nothing like that. He just says, yeah, this guy carried a fucking cow. That's progressive overload. Here you go, do bench press for 5 sets. And it's like, thank you.
And that's exactly how I went from looking like this at 15 years old to
That's a very nice dog. That is a holy fuck.
looking like this just 2 years later, and how you can do it too. Why this is so effective for especially teenagers is because teenagers are experiencing optimum cellular turnover rate. Meaning
Thank you.
when your cells die or are destroyed, they repair themselves much faster than any other period in your life. So basically your recovery is at peak levels, so you can train extremely hard and recover super fast. Now I know a lot of you guys who are
This part is true. This part is cool. You would much rather be a fucking teenager starting training than like some 69-year-old man, old timer, who's like, your bones are gonna snap with the first set of curls. So this part is true. I will give him that. You know what? I'll just withhold my comments. Let's see the rest.
just starting your fitness or bodybuilding journey are
It's
looking
funny because he can't lift a lot of weight.
online for workouts. for
Okay, that was
routines,
mean, I'm sorry.
exercises. You see so much content, all these experts saying, do
Okay, let's see. We have Christopher Bumstead. We have some German fellow. Is this? No, it's not. Okay, I don't know any of these people
this,
aside
don't
from
do
like,
that,
you know,
this exercise is
Christopher
killing your
Bumstead.
gains, blah 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 blah, and you're so overwhelmed you just don't know what to do. But yet, if you go into any high school gym, you see that the biggest guys in there are doing the simplest exercises.
Yeah, this so far is like a word for word replica of his previous video. He did say that the biggest guys in there are doing the simplest exercise, and then like in his routine that he provided, it was like the most, it was just horrid. You'll see. Please don't let this be repeated.
The truth is, you really don't need to overcomplicate it. When you're a teenager, your testosterone levels are extremely high, so you can do incredibly simple things
Especially if you eat plentiful mulch and microplastics.
for great results. And this is the perfect routine for you teenagers who want to put on muscle mass.
Hold on. Okay, this is the perfect routine for people who want to put on muscle mass. If he doesn't next show a PDF of Beast Slayer by Bald Omni-Man, then he will be lying, and I can technically sue him for misinformation, so I'm pretty hyped about that. Let's go.
So hit that like button so you can easily find this video.
Okay. Let's see the like to dislike ratio. What the fuck? Oh, there. Well, this seems to be popular, so I'm actually kind of hopeful.
Because you're going to have to refer to it quite a bit for the next few months. So the first thing that you need to keep in mind is that
Wait, how many views has he got? 1.9 million. That is
As a
sick.
lifter, you don't want to push yourself too hard because you don't want to injure yourself.
I
So
disagree
you should
heavily.
first start with doing bodyweight exercises.
Oh no, this was another thing. Holy fuck. No, this made me so mad in the original. Okay, so I remember as well him saying like, yeah, here you go. Do calisthenics for the first 6 weeks. And then after that, you've mastered calisthenics. Now you can move on to the weight room. This is fucking horseshit, obviously, because if you look at any if you go to like in Muscle Beach in LA, for example, you see these guys. They're like jacked out of their mind, and not all of them are on steroids, but they only do calisthenics, because it's like there's so much shit to master there. He calls it the kiddie pool. I wonder if he used the same script. So I wonder if he's gonna use that metaphor here as well. But if he does, that's so fucking horseshit. As anyone who like is a calisthenics enthusiast knows, it's like he pretends that this is like a warm up, like a prequel to weightlifting. And while yes, certainly doing a push up for most people is fucking easier than doing a bench press 1 rep max, this is just flat out wrong if he claims that, you know, past this like first initial stage you can't make any progress with calisthenics. I would really like to see this guy do like a 1 arm pull up, like a fucking front lever, like a planche, do like 2,900 L-sit pull-ups or anything that these calisthenics athletes do, because that is fucking difficult, more difficult than that most of these like shit ass machine lateral raises or whatever that kids will be doing out here these days. And so let's see if he does claim that, because I remember in the previous video that is what he said.
Familiarize yourself with the movements and prepare your tendons and ligaments for the heavy working set.
Now this I really do like. I'll just let him tell you the duration and then I will say my problem with it.
We will be doing later on in this routine. So if you're new to this, the first couple of weeks should just be doing bodyweight squats, push-ups, pull-ups, and anything like that. And once
Yep, first couple of weeks. First of all, if you're new to fitness, the first couple of weeks, pardon my accent, the first couple of weeks you most likely can't do a fucking pull-up. Sometimes you can't even do like a bunch of good push-ups. Now, a couple of weeks, yeah, sure, it's gonna do something. I would recommend, like, honestly, if you look at people like Bob Man, Alex Leonidas, even Natural Hypertrophy, he started with fucking calisthenics for like a year, if not multiple. Several months at the very least, not a couple of weeks, because that shit he said earlier about like preparing your ligaments and your tendons for the work, that doesn't happen in a couple of weeks, motherfucker. I did push-ups for a couple of weeks. I got fucking elbow tendonitis and wrist tendonitis. Unlucky. It's like that takes, I'm not gonna say it takes years because it's kind of doomery, but it's like it takes more than a first couple of weeks. And the mindset this is gonna give you is like, oh yeah, sure, I've mastered bodyweight movements now because Brett Maverick here told me that I can fuck around with a pull-up for 2 weeks and then I can move on.
once you've mastered the kiddie pool, it's time to hop in the
Yep, let's go. He used the same script from the previous video. I'm so fucking excited for this. Once you've fucking used the kiddie pool, it's time to hop in my anus or whatever he said there. That's like, come on, bruh. Calisthenics is not the kiddie pool.
deep end, baby. And what is the routine, you ask?
Let's go. What is the routine, you ask? Ice cream fitness 5x5.
Push.
Okay,
pull,
never mind.
legs. What creates an incredible physique? The main thing is you want that nice V
The main thing is never bulking.
taper going from your shoulders down to your waist. Add in some well-built legs and you got the perfect physique suitable for Mount Olympus. So day one will
Arnold Schwarzenegger, known for doing push-pull legs.
be your push day.
Let's go.
Push day, you're exercising all of the muscles responsible for pushing movements, so your chest, shoulders, and triceps respectively. You're going to start with the biggest muscle out of the three, your chest, because when you're working that, you're secondarily warming up the other muscles, shoulders and triceps. It's okay to keep it nice and simple at first, so we're going to be doing the flexion exercises of bench press and incline bench press.
Flexion. Oh, and then he shows a flat fly for fucking incline. That's how you know how much effort he put in. The other thing that pissed me off about his earlier video, first off, is the calisthenics comment. Well, second up, there were 3 things actually. There was the Milo of Croton did progressive overload, and then he doesn't mention how to progressive overload. There was the push-pull legs is the most optimal calisthenics. Go fuck yourself. And there was also the amount of effort that he put in. You'll see, but basically, if he like copies this word for word, which so far he has, it's just been a fucking carbon replica of his previous video. you'll see that he puts like a fair decent amount of effort into the push day, which doesn't mean it's good. And then on the pull day and the legs day, it just looks so fucking awful. Like, holy shit, you'll see.
Press to hit.
Also, flexion, you mean like, is that technically I mean, it's a press.
Both your pec minor
It's a
and
fucking
major.
press.
Then you're gonna do the adduction exercises of flies and cable crossovers. Adduction is when you're compressing your muscles horizontally in front of you. To crossover.
Okay, that's cool. Notice how abduction happens with the chest regardless if you want it to or not. If your elbow on a press starts out like by your side and then goes out in front of you, like with the dumbbell press, you're abducting the pec. That's why it gets fucking used. The flexion, well, flexion is like a curl. It's like a, you know, from what I know biomechanically, and he may also be correct here, but I'm pretty sure he isn't. If he means like, I mean, there's like the fucking extension of the elbow, which the tricep is mostly responsible for, but again, this is what based on science means. Science-based is when you use fucking bad, like, incorrect terms, and then you say Milo of Croton ate my, you know.
Adduction is when you're compressing your muscles horizontally in front of you. To achieve
So, a chest day of flat bench, let me get onto the actual routine. Flies, I wonder, does he, I don't want to spoil myself for the, oh, there. Okay, there. Flies, crossovers. Yeah, he copied the routine as well. That's really cool. Let's see. So, my issue with this is that you just said the people who are the biggest in the weight room are the fucking retard footballers who just watch Mark Ripito and drink a shitload of milk. Do you think they're doing 4 exercises on 2 separate chest days? I don't think so. I think a really good approach to go about this, especially if you're a beginner, is to do 1 press, 1 fly. Or if you're like, really, you just want fucking a humongous chest for whatever reason, 2 presses on 1 fly. But 4 fucking flies misspelled, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how it's spelled in the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. However it's spelled there, that's the correct way. Let's go on.
overload like Milo of Croton,
To achieve progressive overload, you need to add weight every single week. If that's what he says, I'm stopping the recording.
then use moderate to heavy weights with 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions of each exercise. After that, your chest should be pretty
Okay, thank the Lord. To achieve progressive overload, this is really funny
repetitions of
for a number of reasons. Reason number 1. To achieve progressive overload, you do 3 sets of 8 to 12. He doesn't tell you to progress through the rep range, because what I saw and what I thought when I first saw this, all those years back, you know, this was my first exposure to YouTube fitness, it was like, okay, so I can do 8, or if I feel like it, 12, and I always do 3 sets. Moderate to heavy weight is I can just do it. And then maybe somewhere along the way, my fucking friend would be like, hey bro, up the weight, bro. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And it's like, holy fuck, this sets up such a bad precedent, because I know I've been there, not too long ago even, where I thought 3 sets of 8 to 12 just meant you do either 8 or 12 if you feel like it. And he doesn't explain to progress at all. To achieve progressive overload, use moderate to heavy weight for 3 sets of 8 to 12. For someone who knows what like a, you know, double progression is, sure, but this is supposed to be your introduction. It's like, this is the equivalent of like, to achieve fucking crispy skin on salmon, sous vide it and then sear it on one side. Motherfucker, no one's gonna know if that's their first introduction to cooking. No one's gonna know what a sous vide is. You need to explain it a little bit more.
After that, your chest should
Also, that's not the reps and sets he uses, which I also find really funny. This used to be way more common back then, where you use like a set number of reps for each exercise. It's like the blueprint to mass fucking fake ass Arnold Schwarzenegger routine. That used like 12, 8, 6, 6, 6 as their. Whoops! I hope I didn't just incite the devil there. That used that as their rep range. This uses 12, 10, 8 as the bench press, which is, this has its uses. It's not awful, but I don't think we should force people into that. 12, 10, 8, and then 20, 12, 15. 20, 12, 15. Yeah, sure. I wonder if he elaborates that this is supposed to be 12 to... Oh, fuck, I just spoiled myself. Not really. If it's supposed to be 12 to 20, because I guess this is 8 to 12. So I have no comments to make about that, but these definitely aren't. So let's see.
Pretty gassed, so we can check that off the list, and your shoulders should be pretty warm.
Oh, no. He said 8 to 12 for each exercise. Curious. So the flies on the crossovers, which you do both on the same day for some godforsaken reason. Not godforsaken, for some unknown reason. Sure. Let's go. I guess I'm just blind.
Up from the chest exercises, so we're gonna hit that.
Oh, I forgot this is a push day. This is the face of a man who knows how to prioritize muscle groups. You can see it in his delts that he knows how to... Okay, I'm sorry. So, let's see what he does for shoulders.
Next, we're gonna do 3 exercises that hit the shoulders from different
So we're 7 movements deep. Yeehaw.
angles to hit the whole shoulder unit. So we're gonna do overhead press, lateral raise, and then reverse flies to hit the rear delt.
Okay, that's great. Sure. On their own, that'd be great. However, this is on a push day, on which you have done not only flat bench, but also incline bench. Both of these things target the same musculature as the fucking overhead press to a great extent. Lateral raise, then reverse fly. You can put them here, yeah, sure. Well done. But how hard are most people gonna be training this after like 5 fucking exercises for the chest and the shoulders already, and you just like shit on lateral raises in there? That's how you know this person never actually used this routine. That's how you know they don't actually really care, because once you go in the trenches like I have tried this routine like a little bit, and I've went there and I was like, what the fuck, how does he get through this? Well, the hint is he doesn't. He just throws together exercises that he thinks looks funny, and indeed they do look funny, but they're not effective when organized in this way.
Delts. Same as chest, moderate to heavy weights, 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions for each exercise.
That's good. I wonder if that's what he puts down there. Okay. Lateral raises for 8 to 12 is a little bit iffy. Reverse flies for 10 to 12 is a tiny bit. Okay. I mean, I'll give it to him on that, because we're fucking, as I said, 7 movements in, and we still have the triceps to do. Which by this point, honestly, it may not actually be worth isolating them with anything other than like one, what's that movement called? One like push down movement, because by now you've done fucking bench press, incline bench, and overhead press. How fucking fine are your triceps gonna be? They're not gonna grow optimally because you didn't like isolate them early enough, but these next few movements are pretty much gonna be close to useless.
Now
Let's see.
it's fine to finish off this push day. Time to hit repetitions.
What
for
did you
each
just say?
Exercise. Now it's fine to finish off this push day. Time to hit the littlest muscle, and that is tricep.
I don't know if he misspoke there or if that was intentional, but if that was intentional, that's another really fucked mindset. It's fine to finish this push day with the tricep movements. This is 100,000% gonna create fucking giga torso dominance for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a push-pull leg split. Number 2, all the arm movements are gonna be at the end. And as a bonus, little fucking buy one get one free, he says it's fine to finish off the push day with this, which means it's not gonna be prioritized whatsoever, which means, you guessed it, shitload of people are just gonna skip it because, oh, it's at the end of the workout and I don't have time, and it's, it's not that important. But let's see what movements he gives.
So you're gonna do the 3 most popular tricep exercises.
Fucking dual row push downs, overhead extensions with the cable, skull crushers with a barbell.
Skull crushers, tricep extensions, and kickbacks.
So, 3 years ago, when the original video was made, it may be more acceptable to put kickbacks like in a video and not have it be an April Fool's joke. But right now, yeah, he should have really worked on the script for this one. I'm not saying they're like a useless exercise. I'm sure they do something, but come on. For me, if I had to do this, I would be like, hey, do a fucking dual row push down and then do a French press or a barbell skull crusher, depending on what your elbows like more.
Nice and slow squeezing the muscle at the top, and you can go a little bit lighter with triceps because it's a really stubborn muscle.
Go fuck yourself. Holy shit. This is such like a... No, this is a spider physique enthusiast. As am I. But I'm not an enthusiast anymore. I just fucking have it. So basically, what he's saying, slow concentric squeeze it, and then go very light. Feel free to go light. Don't fucking care about it. My guy, what happened to Milo of Croton? How would he feel about you slowly squeezing the fucking bottom of the push down with the lat pull down bar? How would he feel about you going light, not, you know, using heavier and heavier weight, my guy? What the fuck? Come on.
Muscle, but we're gonna go to failure with every set. So
Surely.
same as before, we want to aim for 8 to 12 repetitions.
Okay. So as opposed to the other ones, where you did 8 to 12 to failure, with moderate to heavyweight, we're gonna do 8 to 12 again, but with lightweight and still go to failure.
But do as many as you possibly can.
So it's an AMRAP. Let's see what he puts in the rep range there. 10 to 15, just say 10 to 15. If you're gonna put it in the description, please.
And bam, just like that, push day is done, baby. Day
Bam,
two
just like that, you're sore for a week and guaranteed to never do this again.